Now, Princes William and Harry have paid separate tributes to their grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh. William described Prince Philip as an extraordinary man from an extraordinary generation. Harry wrote of him as a master of the barbecue and legend of banter. Here's our royal correspondent, Nicholas Witchell.
He was there for them at their moment of greatest anguish, walking with the young William and Harry behind the coffin of their mother after her death in a road accident. And the bond between the grandfather and the grandsons on whom so many hopes rested was a deep one. In his statement, William says he feels fortunate to have had his grandfather's enduring presence to guide him through good times and the hardest days. He recalled the special memories his own children will have of their great-grandpa coming to collect them in his carriage. And then William says this: "Catherine and I will continue to do what he would have wanted and will support the Queen in the years ahead. I will miss my grandpa, but I know he would want us to get on with the job." Harry speaks of his grandfather's unparalleled devotion to the Queen. He'd been a man of honour and great humour, master of the barbecue, legend of banter, and cheeky right to the end. Harry finished by saying this: "Grandpa, thank you for your service, your dedication to Granny, and for always being yourself. You will be sorely missed, but always remembered by the nation and the world." In the Houses of Parliament, recalled early from the Easter recess, politicians paid their tributes, led by the Prime Minister.
Though I suspect, Mr. Speaker, that he might be embarrassed or even faintly exasperated to receive these tributes, he made this country a better place.
And we offer up this tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh for a lifetime of public service, the Gold Award.
In the Scottish Parliament in Edinburgh, tributes to the Duke were led by the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon.
And of course he faced the additional challenge of being the husband of a powerful woman at a time when that was even more of an exception than it is today. That reversal of the more traditional dynamic was highly unusual in the 1940s, 50s and 60s, and even now isn't as common as it might be.
A virtual session of the Welsh Parliament heard from the First Minister, Mark Drakeford.
To have lived such a life at the centre of world events, and in a way which made almost every experience of public rather than simply private interest, makes it even more remarkable still. And that was the life of the Duke of Edinburgh.
And at Stormont in Northern Ireland, tributes were paid across the political divide.
He redefined the role of a royal, working with hundreds of different causes and organisations, with younger people, service and driving British innovation at the centre of his efforts.
I acknowledge that the Queen and Prince Philip and their family were directly impacted by the conflict and regrettably endured sorrow and pain. Yet, having endured such personal loss, the royal family set about working towards advancing peace and reconciliation, and I have been witness to these efforts and their example of leadership myself in recent years.
He'd stepped onto the national stage before most of today's political leaders were born. Today, they spoke out in their appreciation of him. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News.